educate you guys on a few of those topics today, and let's get started. Um, on a recent study on financial literacy found that 2/3 of people in the world are financially illiterate. So let's start here. What does a financial plan look like? Well, there's basically 6 steps that we look at. First are, what are the goals? The current situation, the plan that I create, we implement the plan, we consistently revise that plan because life happens, and then always striving to save more money. And then it basically goes back to what your goals are again, and the circle keeps going. First, we have to look at the person's family's financial goals. What is their vision for their financial future, right? Do they need to save money for short-term or long-term savings? Do they need to get out of debt? Do they need to have their family or themselves protected by life insurance? Do they need a will? They especially need a will if there are minor children involved. If people own real estate, then it's really a trust is what I say, a must. And then the next step is we gather the information and we sit down and we look at the situation. We look at what the income is to the person or the family. We look at the debts if a person has some. We look at the rates they are paying on some credit cards if they have some. We also look at what assets they have and what rates of return they're achieving on those assets. We also discuss the rule of 72. Oh my goodness, I apologize for this. Let me just change this. So the rule of 72 states that if you divide the number by the percentage rate of whatever interest you are getting on an account, that's the number of years that it will take your money to double. So in this case, let's just look at 1% right here. So 1 divided into 72 is obviously 72, right? There's no trick question. So if a person is 29 years old and has $10,000, it's going to take that person 72 years for that $10,000 to become $20,000. If they're earning 6% on their money, then that's going to double every 18 years. So that same 29-year-old person, now it's going to double at 47 to 20, and at 65, they're now going to have 40,000. Some people say in order to double their money, they have to double the rate of return. But actually, as we see here, you just need 2 more percentage rates, and then that money can double. Here at 65, you have 40. Here at 65, you now have $80,000. Then obviously, the more interest, the better. So look here at 65, you now have $320,000 because your money is doubling every 7.2 years. Now, this also works for you if you're investing in assets, but it also works against you if a person has debt. So we can choose which way. One thing I want to recommend is don't pay off all your debts first before saving. You want to do it at the same time. Also, we look at, going back here, in implementing the plan, that's when my job starts. And I pull everything together and see where the holes are and how we can fill those holes for your financial plan. But let me ask you a question. Tiger Woods is a really good golfer, right? Because he knows he has a plan and he knows where the hole is for whatever golf course he's playing on, right? But do most people in their financial life have a plan? Tiger Woods can pretty much get that golf ball in whatever hole that he's playing on because he knows that destination. But if we were to blindfold him, put him in a car, take him to some golf course that he may or may not know or may not have played, and just set him on the green somewhere, do you think even he would be able to find that hole and put the ball in the hole? Probably not, right? Because he doesn't know his destination. So what we do is we help people find their financial destination. The company I work with, we can basically help somebody save $50 or more a month to get them on their way to a financial plan. I also look at where the money is going to be saved. So there are, apologize for that. There are basically 3 categories of how money is saved. There are taxable accounts, there are tax deferred accounts, and there are tax advantaged accounts. The taxable accounts, those are your checking, savings, CDs, money markets, mutual funds. Those are taxed annually. So it's kind of like up here where you're getting about 1% on your money, and the money's not doubling because every year you have to stop and pay taxes on that money. Then there are tax deferred accounts. That's like your 401k, your IRAs. You're going to be paying income tax on that money, but you pay it when you take money out. So now let me ask you a question. Do you think taxes are going to go up in the future or down in the future? But if your accounts are going to be taxed at withdrawals, that's a major amount of money that you're going to be losing on taxes if you simply just hold your money in those types of accounts. And then there are tax advantaged accounts. Some call it, some you may have heard of, it's called a Roth IRA. And then there's something called a personal placement life insurance. Tony Robbins wrote a book called Money, Master the Game. And he wrote on personal placement life insurance strategies. And we can go into all that later on. But it's something that I want you to be able to look at where everybody is holding their money. Because for tax purposes, and I'm not a tax accountant, but we can look at how the taxes are being assessed for what accounts you have your money in. Does that make sense? And then following this, we go back up here, and once we sit down and implement the plan for whatever particular plan that is given for that person or that family, because it's all specialized to that person or family, then we always want to look at revising that plan. Because like I said, life happens. No plan is ever just set in stone. And then we always want to be able to strive to save more. Saving is for yourself. It's for your future. It's not for anybody else's. And please, please, please know that everybody deserves a financial plan. What I love, and financial freedom. And what I love about this is my company helps people do that same thing. Also, I want to give you guys a gift today, just for spending the time with me today. If you want to email me your name and address and your phone number and reference this event, I have this book called How Money Works, Stop Being a Sucker. And I would like to send this out as my gift to you guys for all the amazing work that you guys do for this community. And what's really cool about this, it's simply done on a cartoonish type of story. So here's my contact information. Please feel free to reach out to me. My phone number is 714-658-8998. My email is Lori, L-O-R-I, at Lori Friedman, and my last name is spelled like fried man. And it's Lori at lorifriedman.org. Again, Megan, thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Lori. And just so everyone knows, because she's technically giving financial advice, so that's why she's very careful about what she says, because she does know that this is being recorded. So I do want to say that. So there's only certain things that she can say. But when I talked with Lori, when I met her, you know, she was really interested about what, you know, HumanWorks was doing. And I said, well, yeah, you could come in and help HumanWorks. I'm like, that would be awesome. But I think that you would have much more of a voice and a power if I had you come and speak at CAP, because I think every organization that's here today knows someone that could benefit from Lori's services. And I think and it's our clients, right? So she did say that she is open to doing like a financial workshop or just helping like with a client one-on-one. So just kind of keep that in mind, that she is here to help serve the community. And so I just want you guys to know that, because she didn't touch on that. So I wanted to touch on that for her. Does anyone have any questions besides wanting to know like what stocks they should buy now, or anything, any questions for Lori? I will be giving her information. Lori, if you wanna, you can email me the PowerPoint, and I can also share it, if that's something that's okay with you, in the meeting recap notes, in the email and stuff. I can put that in there. So if you want to share that with me, that way everyone has that. And I will be sharing her information so that everyone can contact her as well. And again, all the meeting notes has everyone's contact information in there. I know, Lainey, I'll update your email so that I have the new email in there. So if you also want to share your chat box, in the chat box, put your phone number. So that's it. If anyone does anyone have any questions for?
I have a comment.
Okay.
I'm basically a 4.0 student all of my academic life, yet economics was the hardest course for me. It really was. And I have a doctor's degree in business administration. But economics is a very difficult course. And the fact that you took something that's really complex for most people and put it into a digestible form that even someone, you made it simple, and that's what's important. And I like that, and I like the way that you approached it, that it doesn't matter what level pretty much that you're on, the process works, whether you're making a small amount of money or you're making a lot of amount of money, especially with the credit cards. And even with me, I always paid off my debt. I always saw that as just a way to maintain good credit and be able to just purchase houses, cars, or my signature alone. I found that very interesting, and I just think that that's something that can be shared, because I think that people who don't have large amounts of money do not even think about financial planning, and there is still a way to do it. And I like the way you simplified it. I just wanted to make that comment.
Thank you. Yeah, what I love about my company's platform is we want middle America. We know the financial secrets of the wealthy,
Mm-hmm.
and we just want to share them with everybody that doesn't have that opportunity. So to us, what we call our minimum is $50.
Wow.
You know, we're not a Morgan Stanley or a Goldman Sachs where their minimums can be $500,000 or $1 million or $5 million. And it's simply, we're here to financially educate people so that they can be on a firm financial foundation, whatever that means to that particular person or that particular family.
I think that's
And the way our business model is set up, we find the clients, we refer them to big companies, like, you know, some companies like you may never have heard of, like Nationwide or Prudential or Transamerica, you know, little companies. And those companies then pay us out of their marketing budget because they didn't have to market for that client. So when we sit down with a client, we fill out the same forms that everybody else fills out, but the client doesn't pay us. The company that we refer, those companies pay us.
Wow, that's cool.
That's an awesome concept.
So all of our services to the clients are free.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you for clarifying that, Lori. All right, so I'm going to go into some updates. I know Claire, she needed to hop off the call, so I'm going to let her speak about the consumer law.
Thank you so much, Megan. And thank you for that presentation, Lori. That was incredibly valuable information. And again, I want to second that you took some really complicated stuff and you presented it in a really accessible way. So thanks. So the UCI Consumer Law Clinic is working on an amicus brief, which is a friend of the court brief that we're going to be filing with the California Supreme Court that will hopefully work to provide people with an opportunity to eliminate their criminal justice system's fines and fees. And we're looking for stories of people affected by fines and fees. We're looking particularly for people who've tried to seek expungement, but you can't do expungement because you can't get your felony adjusted to a misdemeanor because you have outstanding fines and fees, or other ways in which court fines and fees impact sort of a successful reentry path. So if you have any clients who've been affected by fines and fees, or if you're a social worker or a service worker, service provider, and you all have stories of your clients who've been affected, we'd also like to hear from you. You can send an email to me or Stacy Tutt, who's our professor and director of the Consumer Law Clinic, or you can fill out our survey. So Megan will circulate our survey in her email in the minutes, and I'll also put my and Stacy's email addresses in the chat. We have about 20 to 25 more days to get this thing finished. We are still collecting stories. So if you have a story or your clients have stories, they can also email us directly. Thank you very much.
Awesome, thank you. I know, Miguel, you had an update you wanted to share.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for the presentations today. I appreciate both of you speaking, Dr. Rita, from your personal experience and sharing where in ways that we all work together and how we can best support individuals that have lived experience, and from there leading to the supportive services that we're providing in the community. And with Lori speaking to financial literacy, I know this is something that could be applied to everyone at any level, and I appreciate the presentation. with that. As it's something that I'm constantly learning to find out more for myself specifically, but they're life skills. They're life skills that I believe were once introduced at the high school level or in that time frame, and now they're no longer addressed. And it's a complete shock to me. But with the update from Hope Builders, we have our construction program set to begin in October. Our construction program being an option for young adults 18 to 28 years old, getting started with the basic skills to get connected to a career opportunity. And from there, we have shifted our training programs to a hybrid format. So several days out of the week, they will be reporting on site in respect to social distancing guidelines, mask, proper protective equipment on top of the proper protective equipment that they need for the construction site. And then the rest of the week conducted virtually, either through Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or assignments turned in online. So it's been a way that we've adjusted to implement our training, our skills training portion. And then from there, moving into that career placement portion where we assist in connecting or making that link of skills training that a trainee receives to a quality employer. And then from there, the opportunity to continue growing within the industry. Our information technology program started earlier this month. And I wanted to say that we started with our new high of enrolled trainees of 20 trainees that started training. And our goal for each and every one of our cohorts is at least 27. So we were quite excited reaching the 20 because before it was 16. So we saw some improvements there and opportunities to get started in the industry. We also introduced some new healthcare programs. And one of the things that I want to share with each and every one of you are that we are hosting weekly information sessions to keep everyone informed. So anyone that is interested in getting started with our program, we have a weekly evening session hosted every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. And we have a weekly information session for community partners to get the latest news about our organization every Thursday at 1 p.m. And these are all hosted via Zoom, and I can share that information via chat. Tonight, our focus is going to be on one of our healthcare programs. And then as we progress throughout the weeks, we will do a feature on each program as we move along through each week. But yes, information sessions, I'll go ahead and share that information there. They're completely free. Just like our programs, they're completely free. And we hope they provide you with some information to get started in the industry.
Awesome. Thank you, Miguel. So it's just your construction program that's going to be starting in October. Do you have any other start dates for any of your other programs?
So we also have our registered behavior technician program that's set to begin in September 21st. Yeah, September 21st. And with our healthcare program, our healthcare programs are the only programs that do require a clean record. So with that, if any individual can get a case sealed or expunged, then it opens up the opportunity for our healthcare options. Our healthcare options include registered behavior technician, as well as clinical medical assisting. And later at the end of the fiscal year, we're introducing a clinical nurse assistant, acute clinical nurse assistant program as well, but that won't be until June. But yes, with our healthcare options, we have a registered behavior technician program starting September 21st. And then all of our programs are set to begin again in January. So that's IT, construction, both of our healthcare options, all of that in January.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Does anybody else have any updates they'd like to share? Carol, anything you want to share?
Yes, I do.
Awesome.
I want to, first of all, thank the presenters and also Miguel for every time I attend a CAP meeting, I get information, and it's kind of exciting. My role is always kind of following a lot of bills, the boring part, but part of being back in the community is also participating in legislation and voting. So I want to encourage everybody to think that way, particularly with the voting coming up. Today, I want to talk about a bill. I wasn't quite sure where it was, but we can participate by calling an assembly person. I'm going to read you a real quick resume of what it is. It's called SB 555, and that's what you would mention. It's called the Fair Access for Connections to Support Act, or FACS, jail FACS. And I'm going to read this to you. The goal of Senate Bill 555 by Senate Senator Holly Mitchell is to lower how much it costs to keep in touch with people in jail and juvenile lockups using phones, video calls, and other services. It also lowers the cost of commissary items. By the way, our foundation has been very active in requesting personal in-person visitation, and the fact that it does reduce recidivism. So this is a bill close to my heart. Okay, change is needed. Too many families can't afford to talk with their loved ones or buy basic commissary items to support them while incarcerated. Many go in debt. At the same time, sheriff departments and companies are allowed to make profits anytime people are using the phone or they buy commissary items. The system's unjust, takes money away from incarcerated people and their families, puts it in the pockets of private companies. Again, I'm reading the facts sheet. Here's what it's going to do. It will reduce rates. That means lower rates charged for telephone and other communication services between people held in county jails and juvenile facilities will be reduced. It'll help support strong relationships between incarcerated people and their loved ones, which promotes successful reentry and, as I said, reduces recidivism. By the way, they're thinking about tablets, of course, in our Orange County jail, so that's part of the communication system that will have reduced rates. It will reduce commissary prices, eliminate price markups, and lower costs of basic necessities in the stores. It will end commissions. It makes it so sheriffs can't make profits from these services. And incarcerated people's welfare fund, which was the original, the welfare fund for the incarcerated, will be changed to incarcerated people, not inmate. And it requires that these funds will be used solely for the profit, for the benefit, education, and welfare of incarcerated people. The bill has been worked on for over a year, and it right now has been passed by the Senate. So your job is to call your assembly person, which you do have to go online and say, who is my assembly person in California? They really do count phone calls. They really like to hear, particularly from you all who have experienced being inside, trying to talk to loved ones, and the problems that you might have would be really important to impart. The people that are on the other end of the phone are absolutely great. They ask why you're calling. Half the time they don't even ask your name. They want to know why you're calling. So I'm encouraging you to do this. It's almost there. We've almost got a home run. If you have any questions, let me know. Or do you have?
Does anybody have any questions for Carol? No? Okay, so I am going to share this with the group, the fact sheet. Carol emailed it to me yesterday, so I will send it out in the meeting recap so everyone has that information.
Great.
Thank you, Carol. Any other, anyone else have any other updates? Sure. Okay, so I'm still looking for more speakers to go inside the jail. So if you guys know of anyone that would like to share their story, please either give them my information or give me their information, however they feel most comfortable with. I talked with Dominic, who runs the programs within the Orange County jails, and he is looking for more women. There's a special project that he's working on, and so if anyone has any women that you think would be interested, please give them my information, or again, give them, or have them call me, either way, whatever works. And so that way I can speak with them. Anyone that you know that you think would be a great person for an ROI speaker, please also put me in contact with them, or vice versa. For anyone who didn't hear, because I went to Jennifer first at the beginning for rapid fire, I did actually have some of her updates that talks about her, the career opportunity, and it starts this tonight, right? Is it every Wednesday?
It starts tonight, but fortunately, Santa Ana College has been super flexible, and it's kind of opt in and opt out anytime you want. So if you know anyone, any women on parole, if they're not available to join this evening when we start, they can join any Wednesday. It goes all the way through December. And I looked at the syllabus last night. It looks fabulous. So yeah, please pass on that information to anyone that you know who's on parole.
Awesome, thank you. And then again, Jennifer is doing the clothing drive. So for women's clothing, you're still needing a small and medium?
We really need men's clothing. We have a ton of women's clothing. For some reason, we've gotten just a huge amount of donations for women's clothing, but we need more men's clothing.
It's because women have been purging during COVID.
Yes, that's what's happening. All the women are cleaning up
Yeah.
the closets, all the agents.
Yeah.
But so we need men's clothing. We really also need hygiene items. If anyone can donate hygiene items for the homeless population, that would be much appreciated.
Awesome. And then I know you did share with me the parole meetings with NA. So here's the information up on the screen for anyone that would like to share that as well. Anything else anyone would like to share? Any updates? No? Well, we've been running about 10 minutes early. We're running 15 minutes early today, which, oh, yes.
Can you include in the email that you sent after today
Yeah.
the information to donate that stuff to, like hygiene stuff?
Yeah, we'll donate a bunch of hygiene stuff. We'll get a bunch of shampoos,
Yeah.
and we'll do that. But where do we drop it off at?
Just leave it in the email.
So if you can reach me through email, when we get the update for the meeting, hopefully I'm assuming my email will be in there.
Yes.
Good. And I'll get back to you immediately. I check my email all day long. I can meet you at the Anaheim Parole Office, or I can come to you, whatever works for you.
Okay, who's speaking? It's hard. We can't see who it is.
Oh,
so.
it's Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Hi, I'm a parole agent. I cover all the reentry programs for
Got it.
Hi.
Okay.
So Danny, I'll just send an email and I'll put you on it and Edie on it and Jennifer, and just put hygiene kits in the subject line.
At the parole office?
Yeah, that's what she said. At that, you could do that, or she can.
Where her office is?
The Anaheim, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Yeah. Awesome.
if you could reach out to me first, just to make sure that I'm there. I don't want the officer of the day to have to deal with it. So we can coordinate
We
before.
create a group text so we get your number and then we'll just text you or whatever, or call you or however.
Yeah. Okay.
I have your. I'll just make sure I do the right cell.
Okay.
Yeah, I get.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll do a group. I'll do a group text. Danny,
Awesome.
you're a texter. You're not an email person. You're a texter and a FaceTimer, because you FaceTime me earlier this
I'm
week.
inundated with hundreds of emails every day, and yeah, I just like to text and I can stay on top of that.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. Okay, so thank you all for joining us today. The next meeting is going to be the last Wednesday of September, which is the 30th. So it'll be from same time, 10 to 11:30. It'll be, you can join by Zoom or you can come in person. Again, it's I'm only allowing up to 10 people. And then when you remove me and Nazi, so then that leaves 8. So you're more than welcome to join in person. It is, if you look on the big camera, which has the room, everyone has their own table. So it's social distancing friendly. So, and then I do temperature checks when you come in, that it's been completely marked safe before every meeting. So, which is a disinfectant, a hospital grade. So if anyone would like to join, please email me or Nazi, so that way we can make sure we reserve you an area. Anything else? I think, Nazi, was there anything else I needed to do? Go over? I'm good? No? By the way, I didn't start recording this like I thought I did at the very beginning, so I recorded it halfway through, so go figure. All right, thank you so much, everyone, and have a great rest of your day. Stay cool. I know it has leveled off a little bit, the heat. But stay safe, continue to do what you do for the community. I appreciate what you're doing. You guys are all doing a great job, especially during COVID. We've all adapted, so I really appreciate everything. If I can support you in any way possible, please reach out to me, either text message, email, phone call, FaceTime, whatever you prefer to communicate, I will communicate in that way. So please keep that in mind. And I wish you all a great day and a great month, and I will see you on the 30th. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Awesome.
Bye, everyone.
Have a wonderful, amazing day.
Bye.